Joan, it's all yours.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Calvert Commission for Women and our 6 community partners, I'm happy to welcome you to the 18th Annual Women of the World Recognition and Celebration. My name is Joan Dowell Winship, and I have the privilege of being chair of the Commission for Women and also chair of the 18th WOW. I was quiet during the entry because I think I'll be talking enough as a moderator of this event. As you know, our initial plan was to have WOW last spring in April, just as the growing pandemic shut everything down. So we decided to postpone until September, fully expecting that our lives would be back and opening up at that time. Little did we know, as you all know. So once we regrouped, we decided to postpone and in hopes that we could have it this spring. The organizing committee gathered again in January to make a decision, and we decided we could wait no longer to honor the group of women who were so deserving as honorees this year. So they are a unique group. They cover 2 years. They are our 2020 and our 2021 honorees. In fact, like everyone, with great flexibility being demanded in these crazy days, we decided to move ahead and for the very first time to hold WOW virtually. So in fact, like the schools, as they try, we are doing a hybrid event this morning with a portion of our program live, as I am right now, and a portion pre-recorded. Luckily, and I mean very luckily, we have a tremendous county resource and partner in the Calvert Library, and it's absolutely wonderful staff. I want to especially thank Robin Truslow, without whom we could not be holding this event virtually today. And we do hope that everyone will have patience if there are any glitches, should they arrive. But we are really excited to move ahead now. So I want to thank everyone who had a part in preparing. We have an amazing organizing committee with a representative from each of the 7 organizations that participate in WOW. We have an amazing group of honorees. We have a group of presenters who helped us pre-record their presentations. And of course, I just want to welcome all of you who are joining us this morning. Among the goals and mission of the Commission for Women is that we are charged by the Board of County Commissioners to recognize the achievements and accomplishments of women and girls in Calvert County. Women of the World came into being in 2002, first by the League of Women Voters, and a year later joined by the Commission for Women. All of the participants here this morning have a link to our 20-page program. We did not put, where's my camera? We did not put, we were not able to send them all out, but we did send you the link, and we hope that you will follow along in the program and take time to read it also, because it does include a history of WOW, photos and descriptions of our keynote speaker and all of our honorees. You should take the time to read about each because they are each unique And they each bring such wonderful experience to our event this morning. We also want to acknowledge the organizing committee. They are on page 19, and our list of sponsors who have helped us to sponsor the program is on page 20. So please take a chance to look through that, save it, read it, and just be amazed at the people who this program represent. A year ago, we decided about a theme for the program, and that came up to be women breaking barriers. Women have been breaking barriers for years and years and years. But as we experienced in the slide program, some you may know, and some we never heard of. Most of us study many of them in our history classes in school, and we still don't know many of those names today. But in the months since the pandemic began, just think about the past year. And since we've been planning for this particular more women, it was an election year, more women ran for office, more women voted, more women were elected, and more women are serving as first in so many different places. Of course, in politics, we hear most about that. But also we've been hearing a lot more about women in business. We hear that there are, in fact, more CEOs of major corporations who are women. Women are on more board of directors. Now, mind you, there still need to be more, but there are more. And they are breaking barriers in other areas, in culture, in music, and behind the scenes in this time of the movie awards. We are hearing about more women in production, in writing, certainly in the fields of science and medicine and scientific research, including those who have been involved in developing the vaccines within the last year. We've also heard about more women in space and in sports. That's getting a lot of attention, not only just on the playing field or court, but also in coaching and officiating at the professional level. So we're hearing all about that, but mostly we also want to acknowledge that women are, in this past year, have been juggling at home, their jobs, their children's schooling, their families, and their lives. So much progress has been made, but much is yet to be done. Women of all ages still want to hold their governments, the international community accountable for making even more progress and filling in the gaps. We celebrate women today who have had a big influence of the lives of many people in our community. They have broken barriers in their work. They have spent their time, their energies, their leadership, and their achievements, and shared them with us here in Calvert County. Like our foremothers in the US, and like many women around the world, they have persisted, perhaps in public, but many quietly behind the scenes. But still, they've made a great difference and have been an influence in the lives of others, women and girls, men and boys in our community. So with enthusiasm, let me again welcome everybody to this 18th Women of the World celebration. We hope you will enjoy our time together this morning to celebrate the commitment, the leadership, and achievements of women and girls in Calvert County. I would like to now welcome Pastor Dottie Younger, who is pastor of Solomon's United Methodist Church. She is not only an ordained member of the clergy, but she is also a marine biologist. And among her many concerns is environmental justice, which is so important today. May I now call upon Pastor Dottie Younger to give our invocation.
Reverend Dottie Younger, and I serve as the pastor of Solomon's United Methodist
Can't hear you.
Church. It is my joy and my privilege to be celebrating women of the world with you today, and I give thanks to the Calvert County Commission for Women for inviting me to offer this invocation. So hear now this invocation. Let us pray. God, who created us, very good. Every day is a day to celebrate the splendor, the wonder of all of us, women. For all that we carry, water on our heads, babies in our wombs, the legacy of our ancestors, dreams for future generations. We ask for strength in our bones and love for our own frames. For all that we raise, the children of our villages, communities of resilience, resistant hands, defiant voices. We ask for the courage to keep asserting and a world that honors our being. For all that we bear, injustices both physical and emotional, both known and unknown. We ask for an end to the forces that tear and the force of love to repair. For all that we break, stubborn glass ceilings, others' expectations, long-held silences, systems that dehumanize, we ask for an unwavering sense of worth and new structures that can house all of who we are. For all that we continue to fight for, we ask for new ways to be forged and divine wisdom for the battles ahead. For all that we are, resilient, powerful, loving, hospitable, creative, daring, beautiful, valuable, generous. We ask for fullness of joy and gladness in our existence. Grant women around the world reminders this day of our immeasurable worth and the divine image that is a mother to us all within us. And amidst the forces that make us forget, help us to remember that our bodies are for thriving, our stories are for telling, and our presence is resistance. The world may try to erase us every day, but our voices continue to speak. Amen.
Can't hear you.
Did
I would like to introduce you now to Margaret Dunkel, a member of the Commission for Women who served as the chair of the commission for 4 years and previously also served as chair of Women of the World. I also might and want to acknowledge that Margaret is particularly known for her work on Title IX, and she herself was honored by the state of Maryland to the Maryland Halls of Fame in 2012. Let me turn this now over to Margaret.
Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Pastor. We are honored today to have members of the VIPs from Calvert County to celebrate our own latest WOW honorees. Giving recognition to outstanding women and girls has been a touchstone of the Calvert County Commission for Women since it began and was created by the county commissioners in 1976. We are fortunate to have elected officials who understand that supporting women and girls and celebrating their accomplishments is important to the strength and vibrancy of our whole county. Many are with us today. At the county level, We are especially honored to be joined by Buddy Hance, who chairs the Calvert County Board of County Commissioners. Hi, Buddy. At the federal level, Senator Chris Van Hollen is represented by Jaylon Money, Regional Director for Anne Arundel County and Southern Maryland. At the state level, we have 3 of our 5 elected representatives with us. Senator Michael Jackson, District 27, who represents the northern part of the county in the Maryland Senate. Delegate Rachel Jones, District 27B, who also represents the northern part of the county. And Delegate Mark Fisher, District 27C, who represents the middle of Calvert County. Our next VIP is Aisha Ahmed. She is now a senior at Northern High School. She was selected as one of only 5 statewide representatives to be chosen as Maryland Young Women Leaders this year, sponsored by the Maryland Commission for Women. We are so proud of you. We are so glad you're here. We are happy to have our elected Register of Wills, Margaret Phipps, with us. Margaret was WOW keynote speaker just a few years ago. I am delighted to introduce Judith Von Prather, Executive Director of the Maryland Commission for Women. We are pleased to have 3 members of our current Calvert County Board of Education with us. Inez Cleggett, who chairs the board, current board members Pam Cousins and Dawn Belinsky, and also former Board of Education member Rose Crunkleton. Since its beginning, more than 250 Calvert County women and girls have been honored by the Commission for Women at its annual WOW event. We salute all of those who are trailblazers and the rocks of our community, many of whom are with us here today. Thank you all so much. We want to give special recognition today to a good friend of Calvert County and a good friend of Calvert County women and girls, former State Senator Mike Miller. Senator Thomas V. Mike Miller of Chesapeake Beach passed away at age 78 earlier this year. He leaves a rich legacy of accomplishments, friends, family, colleagues across Calvert County and across the state and the nation. Mike Miller was the longest serving Senate president in the United States, not just Calvert County, not just Maryland, but the United States, 33 years. His seat is now held by another Mike, Senator Michael Jackson, who I think is with us today. Senator Miller also represented Calvert County in the Maryland Senate for almost 50 years. Here you see a young Mike and a later Mike. So if you think Mike Miller has been around forever, well, you're pretty much right. Everyone has a Mike Miller story. An avid historian who was a regular at the history fair, a booster of teachers and education who believed in putting his money where his mouth was, someone who loved the Bay and the Patuxent, who championed legislation to clean up the Bay and waded in annually with Bernie Fowler, a leader with enormous energy, political smarts, and a voice of authority who somehow always seemed to have that moment to listen to your story. Over the 18 years of the WOW event, Senator Miller was here in person many, many times. A student of history, he would have appreciated how many opportunities women and girls have increased from when he was in his early career. For example, when he graduated from law school in 1967, it was perfectly legal for those law schools to refuse to admit fully qualified women, and most did just that. Now, of course, that is not legal under Title IX. Senator Miller championed the Harry Elizabeth Brown Commemoration Task Force and implementing its 3 recommendations, including the Harry Elizabeth Brown Community Center and Park in Prince Frederick. Ms. Brown was a local hero who successfully challenged unequal pay for African American teachers in 1937 with a young NAACP attorney, Thurgood Marshall, at her side. The middle photo shows the bill signing to create the 2015 task force with a smiling Senator Miller alongside the governor, the House Speaker, and the entire Calvert County delegation in Annapolis. We appreciate Senator Miller's many contributions. He was a giant of a man. He left a great legacy, and we will miss him. And now I'll turn things back to Commission Chair Joan Winship to introduce our featured speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Margaret. Before I introduce our keynote speaker, let me explain that our speaker is joining us both live and in her recorded remarks. After we hear her keynote speech, you will have an opportunity to ask her a few questions. I will, upon the conclusion of her remarks, we will open a chat so that you could ask her some questions, write them down, and then our great library partners will help me identify the questions at that time. I am delighted to introduce our keynote speaker for today's Women of the World celebration. I hope you will take time to read her bio in the program. You will learn that she brings unique experiences, accomplishments, and interests to share with us today. In addition, I want to thank her so much for sticking with us through each of the year's delay and still being with us this morning. Young-Jung Yang has served for 3 years as the chair of the Maryland Commission for Women. Professionally, she is managing partner of her law firm, a Silver Spring-based firm specializing in immigration law. She has more than 2 decades of experience in providing immigration-related legal counsel to domestic and foreign, foreign companies, as well as to individuals and to investors. She received her law degree from Howard University School of Law. Young is active in any number of community organizations, as you will see. But given the times we live in, I especially want to note that she has been president of the Korean American Women's Society of Maryland, as well as the president of the Korean Women's Chamber of Commerce. She also served as a commissioner on the Maryland Governor's Commission for Asian Pacific American Affairs. Thus, she really has expertise on raising awareness of special needs of immigrants, and especially immigrant women, raising these issues for policymakers as well as service providers in the state of Maryland and in her home county of Montgomery. So on behalf of the Commission for Women and our partner organizations, we're especially honored to have Young with us today to bring a keynote address and to challenge us to think about how women have broken and continue to break barriers today. Let us welcome Young-Jung Yang, who personifies so much of why we are here and the achievements of women today.
Good morning. I am Yoon-Jung Yang, Chair of the Maryland Commission for Women, and it is my pleasure and honor to join you here today to open the Calvert County Women of the World program. My thanks go to Joan Winship and the Calvert County Commission for Women for inviting me to participate in such an important event, and congratulations to all the honorees who will be celebrated here this morning. The theme for this year's Women of the World event is Women Breaking Barriers. And indeed, we have witnessed quite a bit of barrier breaking recently. Our nation has just elected not only its first female vice president, but also its first African American and first Asian American to hold that office. Our state has, for the first time, a woman serving as the highest ranking justice in Maryland. The Honorable Mary Ellen Barbera is Chief Judge of the Maryland Court of Appeals. This is the Maryland's Supreme Court. In 2019, the Maryland House of Delegates elected its first woman, who is also the first African American to ever serve as the Speaker of the House, Adrienne Jones. The past year has brought unprecedented and previously unimaginable challenges and raised new barriers for many, especially to women. Those of us here today have so far survived a deadly pandemic, which caused not only a public health crisis, but an economic recession as well. Businesses closed, jobs disappeared, and became unattainable for those who could not work from home. And as a state and nation, we have had to recognize the continuing onslaught of racial and ethnic discrimination and oppression and race-based violence. The impact has heavily impacted women. Women's work pays less. Women tend to bear more responsibilities of caregiving and homekeeping responsibilities. Women are often employed in this very industry hit hardest by these competing calamities. For women of color, the burden has been even more pronounced. These are the women most likely to lose their job or to hold jobs where working from home is not an option, forcing them to choose between caring for their children and earning enough money to feed those children. The Institute for Women's Policy Research tells us that mothers are 3 times more likely than fathers to have lost their job during the pandemic. Job layoff in industries where women comprise most of the workforce, combined with the prolonged closure of schools and daycare centers, have forced many women out of work. The Institute also reports that the number of women in the labor force is at its lowest since 1988, wiping out decades of progress. These women may never recover the lifetime earning and career advancements and benefits they would have achieved had it not been for the crisis. These are serious barriers to women's equality, but they are not insurmountable. For if there is anything my own life experience has taught me, it is that we can accomplish almost anything we set our hearts to, if we're willing to try, willing to work hard enough, and if we are fortunate enough to have the support we need. I was 6 years old when I boarded a plane with my mother and 2 younger siblings in South Korea to join my father, who, after completing his graduate studies in the US, got a teaching position at Howard University in Washington, D.C. My first day in school in the US was at Shreveport Elementary in Fairfax, Virginia. I was probably one of the first Asians most of my second grade classmates had met up to their young life. I sat in my second grade class not knowing a word of English, nor how to communicate with my classmates, who were probably afraid to talk to me too. I remember my mother always telling me that in a new community, I need to speak the language they understand. Since the only subject I understood were math, art, and PE, during other subject matter teachings, I made paper dolls and clothing for the classmates who sat near me. This was the language I used to break through and help my classmates understand I was a friend. In 3rd grade, I was called to the nursery to help with a new non-English speaking 1st grade Korean student named Yumi. I was her translator. A few boys were making fun of Yumi because of the Korean lunchbox her mother had packed for her. The teachers made the boys apologize, and from that day on, no other classmates made fun of her food. I think this was the first time I experienced racism. I learned through me, Yumi's voice was heard, and corrective actions followed. I wonder if those boys remember their first introduction to Asian food and how it has become a global cuisine. In 5th grade, while playing in the playground, a boy challenged me to a wrestling match. I accepted but asked him to wait because I wanted to get something. I went home, brought out a small wrestling mat because I didn't want to wrestle in the grass and dirt. What he did not know was that my father taught judo and taekwondo at Howard University, so I had some basic knowledge of wrestling and self-defense. So we wrestled, and to his surprise, I won. From that day on, we became friends. I like to believe my friend learned that girls are strong and to never underestimate a girl's physical or mental strengths. Those of us who did not get sick, lose our job, or are otherwise still in positions of privilege must redouble our commitment to work even harder to remove barriers for those who did. We must work to remove the inequities that existed pre-pandemic, but which have been exacerbated by the ongoing crisis. The Maryland Commission for Women is an officially established advisory board to the state of Maryland. It was first set up as a governor's advisory board in 1965, and it was set in law as a permanent commission in 1971, meaning this year it is our 50th anniversary. The Commission's enabling legislation charges us with the responsibility to study the status of women in our state, direct attention to critical problems confronting women, recommend methods of overcoming discrimination, recognize women's accomplishments and contributions, provide informed advice to the executive and legislative branches of the government on issues concerning the women of our state. Our 25 commissioners are appointed by the governor with the consent of the Senate. They come from all walks of life, from educators, lawyers, retirees, government employees, business owners and businesswomen, medical professionals, academians, religious leaders, artists, citizen activists, and stay-at-home moms all serve as commissioners. Our main job is to identify barriers in our system of laws, policies, practices, programs, and procedures where women and girls are impacted disparately. Determine what would be the best remedy to that problem and advocate that change. Whether it's a new law or policy, a change in the program, or making information available and accessible to the people who need it. Every year during the General Assembly, Maryland's General Assembly, the Commission advocates for legislation that will support women and remove barriers. And every year the Commission inducts 5 women who are truly pioneering the way for other women into the Maryland's Women's Hall of Fame. In fact, Calvert's own Margaret Dunkel was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2012 in recognition for her groundbreaking and history-making work on Title IX. This year, we inducted Celeste Winus, Maryland's first philanthropist, who very likely was the nation's first female philanthropist. She died in 1861, and at that time, the newspaper wrote that the death of a woman is a private family matter, one that does not warrant an obituary, but in her case, they made an exception because of her extraordinary and well-known generosity. So she was very likely the first woman in Baltimore ever deemed worthy of having her obituary published in the newspapers. Now, that's breaking barriers. We also honored Nancy Welker, a physicist and nationally recognized expert in superconducting electronics, whose groundbreaking research made it possible for a new generation of faster and more powerful computers. Margaret Brigg Gregory Hawkins was an African-American woman who fought for women's suffrage, even when the suffrage movement itself excluded women of color from its ranks. The Reverend Ruby Moon, a civil rights activist who marched with Martin Luther King in Selma, Alabama, and Liz Bobo, the first woman ever elected as county executive anywhere in the history of our state. Talking about breaking barriers. These exceptional women all had a vision for a better world, a world where women and girls, all women and girls, may pursue their dreams and passion and choose where and how they will make their contribution to our society without artificial and unnecessary barriers based on nothing more than gender and race. Each year, in conjunction with the Women's Hall of Fame honorees, the committee also recognizes 5 outstanding high school students who have demonstrated records of academic excellence, extraordinary leadership, and exceptional community service. This year, among the 5 incredible recipients of the Maryland Young Women Leaders Award was Isha Ahmad, a senior at Northern High School right here in Calvert County. Clearly, Ms. Ahmad is already on a path to break down any barriers in her way. This year, the Commission has been conducting research, collecting data that describes the social and economic conditions of the women of our state. Maryland Women, a status report, will be published next month. But we already know that it will highlight women's progress as well as long-lasting inequities in the work and wages, leadership, poverty, and much more. As soon as that report is off the press, we plan to start a new research into the impact of COVID-19 on the women in Maryland. As your celebration goes forward today, let us all commit to stand up and speak up. Women should not have to break barriers to be on equal footing with men. And yet, our advocacy for equal opportunity is still necessary, even in, or maybe especially in 2021. The shameful, inequitable treatment of the women athletes in this year's March Madness basketball tournament is all the evidence we need to know that much work still remains. But you know what? One of those athletes stood up and spoke up, and the NCAA had no choice but to level the playing field fast. So I implore you, stand up for what you know to be true. Stand up for yourself and for your less privileged sisters. Say something and speak up against discrimination, harassment, ignorance, and any other injustices. Let us all commit today to calling out discrimination and inequities for what they are. Commit to breaking down barriers for women and girls, all women and girls, so that our children will find a better world tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Young.
Thank you, Joan. Great to be here today. Thank you.
You gave us much to think about, and your challenges are before us as well. So thank you very much. And I appreciate your being here and being willing to take the time to answer some questions. We are going to open the chat so that people may write a few questions. We'll take just a few, and while that happens, let me just start maybe with a first question. Given, as you shared with us, your own personal experience as well as your professional expertise, and given the times we live in right now, especially being aware of the anti-immigrant issues before us, and even more recently, becoming more and more aware of the anti-Asian feelings in society, how would you suggest that we, either as individual citizens or as community organizations, might help address these issues?
Thank you, Joan. You know, everything that's going on, I highlighted this year, last year and this year, all about racism and ethnic discrimination and oppression, is personal to me because I'm an immigrant and also a woman and a woman of color. So when you think about it, I think we as a society and we as women can do what I said in my speech. We all need to stand up. We all need to speak up against everything, against the racism, against discrimination, against oppression, and just be there, be the voice for someone who can't speak. Like I was the voice for my third grade, when I was in third grade, for a non-English speaking teacher. And I believe if we stand up and we speak up, people will hear and corrective actions will be taken. It's very basic, but it's so important. Without us speaking up and standing up and speaking up, no one, maybe someone needs to just hear it again. They've heard it all of their life, right? But someone just needs to hear it again and say, this is not right. We need to do the right thing.
You see, are there other questions that have come in?
We don't have any questions yet, but we do have a comment from
Okay.
someone using an iPad. Yoon, your words were heartfelt. Thank you for your inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you. Joan, I think we all know that, we all know what is right and what is true. So everything that's going on right now, I think, I'm going to just repeat myself. Let us commit to stand up for what we know to be true. Stand up for yourself and stand up for each other. And, we need to speak up against all the wrongdoings, the discrimination, harassment, race-based discrimination, just ignorance, and just the injustice of everything. We, especially the women here in Maryland, we make up more than 50% of the population and voting power. So if we speak up, stand up and speak up, our voices will be heard and our voices cannot be ignored.
Yoon, Diamond Lewis is asking, what is someone who has been a role model for you? Who is someone who has been a role model for you?
I have to tell you, it's a combination. It's very basic, but it's really my parents. My mother came to the U.S., elder woman. She brought 3 children with her to the U.S. and not really working back home. She came to the U.S. and she had to go work. And I can tell you, her first job was as working in the kitchen of the Watergate Hotel in D.C. And she did what she had to do. And, you see that when your mother is working so hard to provide for you, that is inspiration. It gives you the drive to work harder and to do what it takes. I mean, she worked hard, and that's that. My father, being an educator and in the sports field, he was conservative in his own way, but he wanted his daughter to be on equal footing with the boys. So while he was conservative, family man and everything, he made sure his daughter was strong enough and believed in herself and basically said, you can go out and do anything you want. You can go, and boys should never, you should never step back because a boy is telling you you're not good enough. So it's my mom and my dad. I thank them for everything.
So Esha Ahmad says, thank you so much for your kind words. You truly inspire me as an immigrant myself. And Robin has shared a question from Courtney, who asks, what are the best ways to get engaged with Commission for Women in Maryland?
Oh, it's great to have a voice. So we have our monthly meetings. You're welcome. The monthly meetings are open, but the best way, I think, is to first get involved in your county commissions for women. And I believe in grassroots support. So if you can support your county commissions for women, that in turn, the county commissions for women work with the state commission for women. So I'd say get involved by calling them and asking them what you can do. And whether it means serving as a commissioner, whether it means volunteering at one of their programs, or just joining in programs like today, hearing each other and understanding each other would be best.
Vicky wrote,
That's a wonderful kind of plug, both for the commission, which we do have right now. Our meetings are on Zoom and people are open. We publish an agenda every month. We meet monthly also. But it's a wonderful opportunity just to share that the commission itself has been working on a range of issues, from programs for middle and high school girls, trying to encourage them to consider careers in fields that have been predominantly male, to work on trafficking, human trafficking and sexual harassment. We acknowledge and try to bring awareness in October, which is Domestic
good job.
Violence Month, or April, Sexual Assault and Child Abuse Awareness Month. We are more than open to any kinds of ideas for either programs or issues that people think we should be addressing. I might also note that we are going to be able to reopen the clothes closet that the commission has, that we provide free clothing for women who might be entering or re-entering the workforce. It is more professional or work clothing, not jeans and not prom dresses, but we do have a range of programs. I hope that you will try to find out. We're on Facebook. So that was a wonderful opportunity, Jung, to encourage people to find out more about what we are doing.
I just also wanted to add to that, Joan, that we are the eyes and ears for our community, and the commissions, the county and the state. We don't have eyes and ears to go everywhere. So you as a community, you're our eyes and ears. So if there's something that needs to be that we as a commission, either on the county level or at the state level, should know about, please reach out to us. The Maryland Commission for Women, you can find us. It's www.marylandwomen.org. We have email there, so please let us know. Like if you're in Calvert County, let Joan and the Calvert County Commission know. And the Calvert County Commission for Women works very good with the Maryland Commission. So we have always a close connection. We're always in communication. So be the voice, be the ear, and share it with the commissions, with the women's commissions.
So Joan, we have a couple
Yes.
more questions.
Okay. Then we'll need to stop because we're going to take a short break. So if you could let us know those next couple questions.
Sure. Evelyn Stewart says, thank you, Yoon. As a sister commissioner for women in Maryland, I'm proud to serve and motivated to have you as our leader. And then going back to the questions, Vicky Rhodes asks, if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would it be?
Oh my. Be a bit more daring. Be willing to take more chances. I think part of, even though my father and my parents tried very hard to teach me that just because you're a girl or a female, you should not, nothing should stop you. I think society-wise, just my exterior people. It's like, oh, girls shouldn't do this. Oh, girls do this. I think if I were to go back, I would do a lot more things that I kind of stopped myself from doing, taking more challenges. That's very simple, but if I knew what I knew now, I'd say go for it. There should have been no barriers for me. Right?
And our
And
last
just-
question is from Margaret Dunkel. What would you suggest that someone who is not female and maybe not of Asian heritage do to truly understand the impact of discrimination against Asian American women in their heart as well as in their head?
I think you have to just reach out. I think sometimes somebody needs to make the first move. And if you really want to understand the community, your other sisters from the Asian community or any other community, is don't wait for someone to approach you. You go in, you approach them and say, what can I do? Share a story with me. And I think if you make the first move, that goes a long way to show you are genuine and you want to learn, you want to know. So it's again, these are just very simple gestures, but I believe that we all can read genuine intent, genuine effort. And so when I go somewhere and someone asks me, just comes and introduce themselves, like I've been in many situations where I've been pretty much maybe one of the few Asians in a room, but I really appreciate it when someone comes up to me first and say, hi, welcome. And that kind of helps break my fear and possible the silent barriers. Okay, I'm the only one here, but that makes me feel comfortable. That makes me feel open. And someone's got to start, right? You just don't sit there and wait for someone else to do it. You do it because you have to break the barriers, not for yourself, but for everyone.
Jung, you've given us a lot to think about, and we really appreciate your joining us. So thank you again. And anybody who might want to visit with Jung at the end, will have the opportunity to do that again. I want to just let people know that now we are going to take a short 5-minute break just to give people a chance to stand up and stretch, because we're going to move into the part where we will learn about and honor our 11 honorees. So while we're taking a break, we are happy to have with us Nina Clark, who is from Northern High School, and she is a cellist. She's going to share her talent with us while we take that break. So stand up, stretch, get your second cup of coffee or tea, and then we'll celebrate our honorees of the year. So we'll give you a 2-minute warning. It's just going to be a short break, but enough to stand up and stretch. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Consider this your 2-minute warning, and I will pull up the slides with the questions again. One minute. It's all yours, Joan.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. And again, thank you, Nina, so much for sharing your talent with us. We will hear a little bit more of it as background music as we go now. Our first group of 5 awards are presented by the Calvert County Commission for Women. Nominations for these are sought countywide in 4 of the specific categories. advocacy, business, service, and for a woman of tomorrow. This year, we've added a 5th special award in leadership in recognition of years of leadership in the county and special support for women and the Commission for Women. You will hear about them now. So sit back and enjoy meeting our 5 first awardees for 2021.
Good morning. My name is Crystal Jordan, and I serve as an Associate Commissioner for the Calvert County Commission for Women. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of presenting Ms. Lori Honey with the Outstanding Achievement Award for Advocacy from the Calvert County Commission for Women. Lori is the Executive Director for Project ECHO.
Louder.
Measurable impact for the past 27 years, advocating for Calvert's homelessness, especially women. She is a collaborative leader who works tirelessly to find solutions for housing and has pioneered comprehensive programs and service provisions addressing unique and complicated needs for the homeless, women, and their children. Lori also brings her caring spirit to her occupation and continuously gives 100% while listening to Project ECHO's residents' concerns and questions. If she doesn't have an immediate answer, Lori will search until she finds one. She created the first transitional house at Project ECHO for women 55 years of age and older, calling it the Golden Girls House. She started a second transitional home called the Claire House for homeless women in need of recovery from trauma. Lori has changed many community members' perspective on how powerful community involvement can be. She understands how stereotypes and stigmas make it difficult for people to help those who are homeless and shares her message with county officials and the public. She teaches about the different paths that lead to homelessness and says, no matter what their story, everyone has value and deserves help. Whether it's affordable housing, education, or concern for those living in the woods in our community, Lori never stops advocating for essential services for the homeless and those who are down on their luck at any given time in their lives. Many past Project ECHO residents come back to visit and thank Lori for all she has taught them. Women in Calvert not just survive, but thrive because of the advocacy, love, and wise support of Lori Honey. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Honey on this prestigious award.
Stacy Hutchinson is selected for Calvert County Commission for Women's Outstanding Achievement Award in Business Leadership. As an associate director for the University of Maryland's Environmental Science Chesapeake Biological Lab, Stacy has demonstrated exemplary skills in business and facilities leadership. She has revolutionized the way the campus operates while overseeing upgrades, renovations, and new construction. For an air handling systems project, Stacy demonstrated business acumen by finding a SMECO grant to fund the project, and the energy savings save taxpayers' cost. With Stacy's urging, the research pier was renovated with state-of-the-art decking, which allow waves to run through. And the new laboratory building was granted an award for environmental responsibility. All 3 projects under Stacy's leadership were on time and under budget. Stacy also makes sure the lab practices environmental sustainability. She supported student-led efforts to champion buy local, to lower carbon impact through our food habits. She suggested the lab use local restaurants and businesses while catering events. Stacy does this work where 80% of the Chesapeake Biological Lab graduate students are women. Stacy created a more effective, efficient, and environmentally friendly organization. And she has earned our Outstanding Achievement Award in Business Leadership. Congratulations to you, Stacy.
Every year, the Calvert County Commission for Women seeks to recognize outstanding women in service. This year, it is my distinct pleasure to award the Commission's Outstanding Achievement Award for Service to Ms. Joyce Freeland. Joyce's commitment to service is based on the principle of helping people through changing lives. As such, she has made a difference in the lives of Calvert's citizens and beyond. Joyce served as president of the Calvert County branch of the NAACP for 28 years. She has been recognized as the longest-serving member of 50 years by the board of the Southern Maryland Tri-County Community Action Committee. Her work in Congress spans Wisconsin, California, and Baltimore. Through her work with Congressman Steny Hoyer's Service Academy Interview Board, her participation in Closing the Gap Coalition, and as a substitute teacher for the Calvert County Public Schools since 2006, Joyce has fostered the advancement of our youth. She regularly volunteers at our local homeless shelter, Project Echo. Joyce, we thank you for your tireless service. And so, on behalf of the Calvert County Commission for Women, it gives me great pleasure to present you with this award.
Hi, my name is Nadine Hunt, and I'm a Calvert County Commission for Women board member. It is my pleasure to present the Women of Tomorrow Award to Diamond Lewis. Diamond Lewis, a Northern High School 2020 graduate, dedicates herself to serving others, is committed to academic and athletic excellence, and models leadership to other students. She is currently a student at Mount St. Mary's College in Emmitsburg, Maryland. As president of Calvert Association of Student Council, Diamond created the first promotional video for the organization to assist in increasing student advocacy and engagement. Under her leadership, a record number of students attended the Maryland State Fall Leadership Conference. She also led 37 of her peers in attending the Maryland State Legislative Session, increasing student advocacy and engagement. Diamond also led efforts to raise funds for local homeless shelters, collected food items for the Humane Society, and clothing drives for the less fortunate, and assisted in other helpful projects with veterans and senior citizens. Diamond's energy is undaunted as a participant in a host of organizations, including Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Future Doctors, National Honor Society for Black Engineers, Best Buddies, and Class Council. She was a founding member of the Maryland's first middle school Future Vision Leaders of America chapter at Northern Middle School, serving as president of Northern Middle School. She led her school to attain the Felix Simon Award, an award given to Maryland outstanding middle school students in government. Diamond selfishly devotes her time to her peers and community to improve the skill sets of others and the mission of anything she pursues. She encourages and brings out the best in people. She's a culturally responsive young woman who encourages young girls to stand up for their beliefs and encourages them to be a positive difference in their community. Diamond has already made a positive impact on so many Calvert County citizens. She demonstrated an excellence and a genuine concern for others that is inspirational. Diamond has a bright future in her endeavors and exemplified a woman of tomorrow. Congratulations, Diamond Lewis.
Hello, my name is Arian Odom. I'm the Vice Chair for the Calvert County Commission for Women. And it is my distinct honor to present a special award for leadership to Terry Shannon. Terry Shannon retired from Calvert County government in 2020 after 32 years of service to the county. During those years, she encouraged and empowered many women to assume leadership positions through her example and direct mentoring efforts. Terry started with Calvert County government as a staff accountant in 1987. In 1991, she rose through the ranks to Deputy Director of Finance and Budget and was promoted to Director in 1999. In 2009, she was appointed as County Administrator, becoming the first woman in Southern Maryland to hold that title. Terry's title and role was well-deserved. During her tenure, she helped secure Calvert's first AAA bond rating and restructured the county's employee retirement savings program. A fiduciary in all aspects of the word, Terry made prudent decisions with a discerning eye for fiscal detail. She was a diplomatic leader and demonstrated grace when challenges came to the foreground. She valued transparent decision-making and encouraged department heads to see recommended actions from a citizen's perspective. Terry also devoted the necessary time to cultivate strong female leaders within county government. She supported staff development for those seeking leadership opportunities, and she took the time to become familiar with their goals and challenges. During her time as county administrator, more women rose to the position of department heads, surpassing the number of men. Throughout her career, Terry demonstrated an admirable strength of character. She is deserving of recognition for her efforts to empower women in the workplace and to improve the quality of life for women and girls in Calvert County. All citizens of Calvert County benefit from her many contributions during her years of service and leadership. Thank you, Terry Shannon, for your leadership.
Congratulations to the Outstanding Achievement awardees. Our next group of awardees are those selected by our 6 Women of the World partner organizations. Each partner community organization honors a woman who has made significant contributions to the work and mission of their respective organization. Join us now as we celebrate the achievements and contributions of these next 6 amazing women.
As president of the board of the Calvert County Historical Society, it is my privilege to present to you the Calvert County Historical Society nominee for Women of the World, Andrea Christine Perrin Banks, better known to us as Chris. As Chris began searching her family roots at the Historical Society, her love of history in the county were readily recognized, and she was elected a member of the board in 2014. Her active participation and leadership in Historical Society and events and committees led to her election to board president after serving just 2 years as a board member. She continued in this position for 3 years as she actively promoted historic preservation, not only to our members, but to the public and on a county level. Through research, she prepared and presents a very informative program on her great-grandmother, Christiana Perrin, an early 20th century African-American businesswoman for whom a road is named south of Chesapeake Beach. Chris represents the Historical Society at Lower Marlboro Freedom Day, has been a judge at the Calvert County History Fair, and works diligently on Historical Society events. As a past president, she continues to provide leadership, guidance, outreach to the public, and organization and support to the Historical Society. She is not only active with us, but is a vital member of a number of other organizations, including her church, the NAACP, the League of Women Voters, the Calvert County Concerned Black Women, and the Calvert County Minority Business Alliance. She is retired from a 41-year career as an educator in the classroom as well as vice principal of Beach Elementary School. She is now a licensed real estate agent and substitute teacher. Her positive attitude, enthusiasm, ability to work well with others, and willingness to work hard to achieve set goals are an inspiration to all. Congratulations, Chris.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Parker. I'm the president of the Calvert County Minority Business Alliance. And today we have nominated Christine Coates to be our Woman of the World awardee. She is a phenomenal person. I mean, incredible, heartfelt person. She would give you the shirt literally off her back. She's such a great entrepreneur. Let me read some of the things from her bio for you. CC Professional Tax Services was founded by Christine Coates in 2017. CCPTS expertise is preparing professional tax services for individuals and small businesses. CCPTS also offers audit representation, notary, credit repair, financial advice, and money management. Christine Coates has began her career in taxes in 1998 in the state of Texas. She has also worked for H&R Block, where she was the lead tax writer with both corporations. Professionally, she enjoys the challenge each year of educating herself as well as her clients about the new tax laws. Listening to the needs of others, identifying and solving problems, Christine has a passion for serving others and increasing knowledge through education. She is a wonderful person. Christine has become a certified business owner. That entrepreneur flair is certainly apparent. It is no secret that she is excellent at office organization and assisting people in compassionate yet professional way. Anybody who knows Christine knows that she is a trusted individual with a heart to serve. Christine is a mother, a grandmother, and who is dedicated to her family. She also strives to make a difference in her community by actively participating in her church and the school and the civic groups.
On behalf of the Community Mediation Center of Calvert, I am pleased to present Laverne Day with our Volunteer of the Year Award. Laverne joined the center in 2019, and she has embraced our mission wholeheartedly. She not only volunteers to mediate any case that is available, she also takes every training she can in order to become a better mediator. She helps at community events and in numerous center projects. After years of working as an owner and operator of a commercial construction company, Laverne decided to pursue her passion for service to the community. We are honored that she has chosen to lend her considerable talents to our organization. In addition to volunteering with mediation centers in both Calvert and St. Mary's counties, Laverne also volunteers as an assistant district commissioner for the Boy Scouts of America. She is a legal ministry member at her church, where she offers mediation to church members. She has worked with at-risk teens through teen court and teaches horseback riding to youth. Laverne is also a certified health and life coach. Laverne has her BA in behavioral science and an MA in organizational development and leadership. Her achievements include a master's in scouting science and the Air Force Academy Distinguished Honor for Leadership in the Community. I am honored to add Volunteer of the Year for the Community Mediation Center of Calvert to Laverne's considerable list of accomplishments. Congratulations, Laverne.
Good morning. I'm Pamela Cousins, President of Concerned Black Women of Calvert County. We're affectionately known as CBW. I have the honor of introducing our Woman of the World honoree, Mrs. Norma Onley. Norma is an exuberant leader that cheerfully provides service. As a new member to CBW, Norma fearlessly volunteered to co-chair CBW's signature fundraiser without blinking an eye. She heard a calling and a need for assistance and stepped up to the plate and knocked the project out of the park. Under Norma's leadership as co-chair of the 12th annual Salute to Excellence Awards Luncheon and Scholarship Fundraiser, the annual event was moved to a new location, which allowed the record number of tickets to be sold and resulted in the event's largest fundraising proceeds. 9 Community Excellence Awards were given out in red carpet style to deserving women and young girls, including the brand new Eileen Stamper Middle School Youth Award, CBW Member for Community Excellence, and CBW Member of the Year. Through her leadership, the committee secured state, local, and national sponsorships, sold ads, increased ticket sales, t-shirt sales, brought in vendors, conducted a 50-50 raffle, collected donations, and sold advertisements. The event doubled its goal by netting $20,000 in order to offer scholarships to graduating seniors, one from each of the 4 public high schools in Calvert County. Because of the event's success, CBW increased the scholarship amount from $1,500 to $2,000 per student in 2020. Without Norma's constant smile and cheerful servant spirit, CBW would be a little less bright, and this is why we feel she deserves to win this Woman of the World distinction. You're an incredible addition to our sisterhood. Congratulations, Norma.
The League of Women Voters of Calvert County awardee is Sharon Bickle. Sharon's contribution to our community and the League of Women Voters has been demonstrated through her leadership with the Board of Directors and the observation team. On behalf of the board and the members of the League of Women Voters, Sharon, we are truly honored to present you with this award.
Now you understand just why my head is not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. This is excerpted from the poem Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. I'd like to introduce to you the 2020 Woman of the World awardee submitted by the Calvert County branch of the NAACP, a phenomenal woman, Gladys Jones. We recognize Gladys for her exceptional contributions to the NAACP over a number of years. Whenever there is a program being organized or planned by the branch, Gladys, with her phenomenal graphic design skills, readily completes the layout, the editing and printing of all the necessary programs, brochures, flyers, and tickets. This she does with ease and efficiency. In addition to that, prior to and during programs, she provides technical and audiovisual expertise. Gladys has earned a bachelor's degree in business administration and a master's degree in public administration. She currently serves as the Assistant Director of Advising, Career, and Transfer Services at the College of Southern Maryland, CSM. Since joining CSM in March of 1992, she has undertaken a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including serving as a phenomenal liaison to community and professional organizations to promote the college. This phenomenal woman takes great pride in her 29-year career in higher education and passionately believes that education is one of the most powerful tools that one can possess, especially for women. She is a true advocate for women seeking to further their education and encourages them to step out on faith and pursue their dreams. She has helped navigate the way for many women to consider traditional as well as non-traditional professions. In addition to all of the above, she is an advocate for first-generation college-bound students and a cheerleader for returning adult learners. Gladys currently serves in the Calvert County community as chair of the Brooks United Methodist Church's Administrative Council, secretary of the National Congress of Black Women Calvert County Branch, and chair of the Friends of Brown Church. She has served as former chair of the United Way of Calvert County, the Calvert County Chamber of Commerce, and the Emergency Food and Shelter Program for Calvert County. Gladys resides in Port Republic with her husband, Francis. They are the proud parents of 4 children and grandparents to 5 beautiful grandchildren. I present a phenomenal woman, Gladys Jones.
We have now celebrated 11 amazing, or shall I say phenomenal, women of Calvert County. In addition to the recognition and awards that they have received by their respective organizations, we also want to acknowledge that each of the 11 have received lovely formal citations from U.S. Senator Van Hollen, the State Senator Jackson, state representatives, delegates, Fisher, Jones, and Bailey, and one from the Calvert County Board of County Commissioners. So again, congratulations to each of you. And we are so proud of having you as our Women of the World honorees this year. At this time, the Commission for Women also wants to give special recognition to the contributions of one of our partner organizations over the years, the Calvert Collaborative for Children and Youth. To lead us in that special recognition, I would like to introduce to you Commissioner and Commission member and Treasurer of the Commission, Catherine Mars. Catherine, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Joan. It is my distinguished honor for the Calvert Commission for Women to recognize the many contributions of our former partner, the Calvert Collaborative for Children and Youth. The Collaborative was a partner organization for women of the world for a number of years. And after 23 years of service to the county, the Collaborative closed its doors in 2020. The Commission wants to honor the Collaborative and its volunteers who contributed to its founding and work on behalf of young people of Calvert County. Originally formed in 1998 under the name Calvert Crusade for Children, its goals were to address education and socioeconomic gaps in the county. The Calvert Collaborative for Children and Youth became a catalyst for advocacy, networking, and community building. The Collaborative focused on increasing volunteering, mentoring, and financial resources dedicated to programs for youth. The Collaborative assisted youth with stepping up into leadership roles and gave them opportunities to share their talents and voice their ideas. With its president, Guthrie Smith, and Collaborative members, they taught asset development and parenting classes, facilitated youth development and creative forums, and advocated for educational and public space funds for families. Their annual signature event, Champions for Children, recognized dozens of citizens and youth that demonstrated devotion to serving the youth in our community. It is without a doubt that Calvert County and our young people are definitely better off for the dedicated work of the Collaborative. We want to especially recognize several members who served on their board: Guthrie Smith, Donna Millar, Pat Pease, Marie Andrews, Carol Harvat, Paul Harrison, George Carter, Matt Jones, Marianne Roberts, and Debbie Shoup. Our sincere appreciation to the Collaborative and its volunteers for their incredible work and support of WOW over the years. Joan, I'll turn it back to you to explain the next part of the program.
Thank you, Catherine. And a special thank you again to the years of service of all those who have been involved and were involved in the Children's Collaborative. As we now draw to a close of the 2020-2021 Women of the World celebration, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this morning. you must admit that Calvert County has a wealth of talented and committed women, and WOW has had the privilege to honor many of them over the last 18 years. So on behalf of the Calvert Commission for Women and our partner organizations, we congratulate again the 11 very special, phenomenal, amazing women honored here today. The commission partners now would also like to invite each of you to enjoy our programs, our other programs throughout the year. And we encourage you, again, to let us hear from you, to hear about your interests and your concerns, your interest in each of the organizations involved here today. Now, we invite you to join and meet live our WOW honorees and the various WOW partner organizations in breakout rooms, so that instead of standing from a luncheon table and going over to shake their hands or give them a hug, you can at least greet the honorees and to celebrate their achievements today. So thank you for coming, and a very, very special thanks to our wonderful partners at the Calvert Library for helping to make this event happen today. Robin Truslow, who is herself an amazing, phenomenal woman, will explain to you how you will move into the breakout rooms. So now enjoy that time together, and thank you so much for coming and joining all of us in today's event. Robin, I turn it to you.
All right, great. Thank you very much. So you should see the slide right now that shows the awardee and their nominating organizations, and they will be in their numbered rooms. And I'm giving you the power to go into whichever breakout room you'd like to visit. Note that the keynote speaker and moderator will be in room 12. And the others are our nominees we're honoring. You should turn your camera on and unmute once you get into the room. To join a breakout room, just click on breakout rooms. It's an icon at the bottom of your screen or wherever your meeting room controls are. Hover your pointer over the number to the right of the breakout room you want to join and click join. And then to the right of that, you'll click on the word join. So I'm going to, if you have any trouble getting into a room, it could be that you're in an old version of Zoom and you might need us to help you assign you. So just unmute and tell us where you want to go and we'll send you to the right room. I am going to be ending the whole meeting at 11:45. So I apologize if I cut any conversations off in the breakout rooms. Really congratulations to the awardees and thank you all for your participation and celebration. And I believe you'll be getting a survey at the afterwards by email, so please complete that as well. And now I'm going to open the breakout rooms and you should be able to join the room of your choice.
Hi, I would like some help getting to room number 6.
Okay, and who's talking?
My name is Eloise Johnson. I don't have the icon you mentioned.
Okay, so let me find yours and assign you to 6. Maybe someone else did already.
Hey, Robin, this is Gladys.
Yeah. Hey, Gladys.
How are you?
Congratulations. I'm great.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't have the icon, so.
Okay, which room? Let's get you into. Which room were you in? You are
number
in
11.
11. Okay, I'm going to get you in there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robin, this is Susan Shaw, and I don't have the icon either.
Okay.
And I wanted to go to 5.
All right, I'll get you there.
And this is Laverne Day. I don't have the icon.
Let me get you.
And I'd like to go to room 8.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Verna Wilson, and I don't have the icon as well. Also, I would like to go to room 6.
Go.
Please.
Yep. There you go.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Eileen Tucker. I would like to go to room 9.
All right.
Hi, I think you tried to put me into room 6, but it didn't work. This is Eloise Johnson again.
Okay, let's try again. See if that works.
Okay, I got that notice. Thanks.
This is Bernadette Harris. I'd like to go to room 9. Thank you.
All right.
Good afternoon. I am Lorena Royster. I would like to go to room 9.
Gotcha. Pastor Perrin?
I would like to go to room 6.
Okay. Patricia?
Yes, good morning. Can I go to room 9?
Yep.
Good morning. My name is Shay. I'd like to go to room 6, please.
Okay. Denise Plater? Gail, where would you like to go?
I'd like to go to room 2, please.
Okay.
Carolyn Moeller, room 6.
Okay. Anyone else trying to get assigned to a room?
I'd like to go to room 5, please.
Okay. Who was that? Braxton? Okay.
This is Sharon Bickle.
Hey, Sharon. How no, I couldn't spotlight you because I couldn't find your name.
Well, my grandson used my computer and for his cello lesson.
Okay.
And so it's Braxton.
Okay. You can
Couldn't
rename
get it
yourself by
changed back.
clicking on your name, but I'm going to send you to room 10 then. Carol, do you want to go to room 2? Anyone who's not assigned that would like to be assigned to a room? Sierra Mitchell? You'll have to unmute to tell me.
Yeah, to Miss Shannon's room.
Shannon's is
I think it was 5.
Oh no. Which one is she? 5. You're right. Thank you, Shannon. There you go.
Robin, this is Mary Ann. Can I go to room 1, please?
Yep. Okay. Anyone else? Trisha Powell?
Hello, I would like to go to room 7.
Denise, room 7.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? I see there's still some people in the room that might be trying to go somewhere.
Hello.
Yes.
I would like to go to Christine Coates' room. Sonia.
Okay. Let's see. Christine Coates is 7.
Thank you.
Sonia Butler. Salina Slaughter, if you could unmute to say where you'd like to go. Oh, Salina Slaughter would like to go to room 9. Excuse me. I see it in chat now. Catherine Blacknell. Blacknell. Oh, Guffrey. Where would you like to go, Guffrey? You'll have to unmute to tell me.
Room 6.
All right. Jean Marie. Maxine Somerville. I'm going to guess on that one. Anyone that's still stuck in the main room trying to get to another room? Elaine. Jean Marie. You can post in chat if you don't have audio, though it'll be hard to chat with your awardee.
Hi, everyone who's left in the room or back in the room. Thank you all for coming. I just said thank everybody for coming who's back in the room.
Great job, Joan. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Dawn.
All
Hope
right.
everybody had a good morning, and it was great to see everybody who participated. Thanks to all.
All right, take care. Have a good weekend.
You too. Everybody stay well and safe. Thanks, Pam.
It was fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your part.
Absolutely.